Hey everyone, it's Owen here from OTech, and today I'm going to unbox this MSI H110M gaming motherboard, which is a pretty cheap but gaming oriented motherboard. And anyways, with the recent tech YouTubers always making B-rolls and close-up shots of their products, I'm pretty sure there's still some of you that would really like some good old-fashioned unboxing. So here I am. Let's start with the box itself. So you can see the box art is pretty simple, just the normal MSI Dragon logo over there and some matte black paint or printing on it, and with the dragon itself being glossy. The back itself shows just some usual marketing fluff like gaming LAN, audio boost, gaming DNA, easy debug LED, military class 4, which means just they use higher quality components, which I don't think exploding capacitors are a problem these days, but it's nice to know, I guess. And I guess they also show the IO ports and all the features and also a picture of the motherboard. Anyways, let's take a look inside. So first off, you're immediately greeted by the motherboard itself and then some anti-static packaging. But we're gonna look at some of the accessories first and take a closer look at the motherboard. So you get an IO shield, which is finished in black, which I think is pretty nice, and I think everyone should start doing that because the typical silver ones just look out of place in most cases, because most cases have some black paint on them, and this would blend in really well. Next is some warranty card. This is specifically for Indonesia, where I bought this. And then you can see some registration card, which is thank you for choosing MSI, and the driver disk, which you should never use and just download off the MSI website. Next is some user manual, and it's complete with a lot of different languages. I see wouldn't need that if you're an experienced builder, I guess. Next is some SATA cables, one right angled and one straight one. And lastly, a quick user's guide, I guess, which is pretty much self-explanatory. There we go. Now let's take a look at the motherboard itself. As you can see, the design is pretty simple. Just a simple matte black PCB with some red accents on the PCIe slots and the RAM slots and also the chipset heatsink. The VRM itself doesn't have a heatsink, but I don't think you need one when you can't even overclock, because this is an H110M motherboard, not a Z171. And as usual, all MSI DDR4 motherboards have their so-called DDR4 boost, which means they have like optimized traces for improved performance and latency, I guess. The CPU socket itself is the typical LGA 1151 socket. So you open that way and just stick a CPU in there and the cover should pop off. Okay, what else should we see? The IO ports is a pretty standard affair. HDMI, DVI, VGA, some USB 3 ports, some USB 2 ports, an Intel NIC over here, which is nice to see at this price point, I guess, and some audio outs and line ins. So some PS2 ports for those old keyboard and mouses if you're still using them. And as you can see, this board just has a 4-pin CPU power connector, which is still pretty enough for the CPU that you're just gonna stick on there and not overclock. And yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and it has some 4 SATA ports, all of them SATA 3, so that's nice to know if you want to install a lot of drives. Like, who needs more than 1 or 2 drives these days? But that's nice. And there's the USB 3 front panel connector, which is, well, I guess this board is pretty much box standard these days. So I'm just gonna show you guys a closer look. The board is really nice with the matte black finish instead of the usual glossy one, I think. And you can't really see the traces, which is great to see because sometimes the traces make the board look like it's brown, which is not really desirable, I think. Anyways, they print all their features and stuff. But that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing, and please subscribe and like the video. Or if you want to find out more about my videos, you can head over to my channel. Thanks for watching.
I'm Owen from OTech, and this is the Supernova Workstation PC. It is a PC for 3D modeling and rendering that I built for a client. Let's take a look and kind of do an overview of all the parts in this build.